Molweni, ndiyaqhubekeka apho bendiyeke khona izolo. I think this is the last day where I will upload a video around August. There are many things that are in my mind that I wish to talk about, that I wish to challenge us women to think about as we are closing the Women's Month. Andizothetha ngobethwa kwethu. We know that siyabethwa, but now I'm thinking of the things that challenge us, the things that put our well-being in danger. It might not be your message, but it might help another woman, oyidingayo. I don't know, but it's for who. But I'm just sharing constructive information on my Facebook, which might help a woman. One woman once said, while we look at men as enemies, the first enemy for a woman is another woman. I've seen that happening in our families. Iqala kancinci. When a person assumes that when a in-law of someone, that gives them a right to abuse the woman ozokutshatela kokwabo, which is wrong. It is not us against them, but we unite and become one family. One man addressed his family this way in a wedding. Mama no tata, I would like to tell you that I love my wife. My siblings, I would like to tell you that I love my wife. My wife, I would like to tell you that I love my family. So let us work together and build one another. Singatsaleli ngolu hlobo sibe sisenza unnecessary conflict. Some of these things, yi-attitude esikhule ikhona, sacimba it is normal to abuse abantu abatshatileyo. It is not normal. In other families, ngumkhulu wakazi akavani nomnina wakazi, then it ends up affecting children. And if uyihlalela phansi uyikhangela ukuthi biqalele phi na, soze uyifumane. But you will realize that people start to create stories. Witchcraft, undithakathile uyandimonela, kafuni ndiphumelele, yena uphumelele, and all that rubbish, which is unnecessary and untrue. But umntu seyefuna ukuzithethelela for ukuqhubeka nale ntiyo aye wayi-adopta. It also happens in the workplace. While you think it is men who compete with women, I've seen and I've experienced it where women plot against a woman just because maybe she knows better than them, she's stronger intellectually than them, then she poses a threat to them. And then they would even say, kunoba siphathwe ngubani, better siphathwe ngubani lowa uyindoda, because they can't uplift another woman. They get jealous. They get into their little corners. I am aware of that sometimes the first enemy of women is another woman. Can we try, guys? And we can do better than this and protect one another. We need each other because the storm is heavy out there. Let us stop pulling down each other, but instead lift each other up. We are not victims, but we are victors. Let us not take izinto as unnecessary and allow them to divide us, to pull us into pieces. and to make us unhappy. To you, woman, I've got a question for you. Manqale ngawe wena utshate unabantwana. I'm just going to pose few questions for women, things to think about. When utshate unabantwana, do you have a will? Do you know what will happen to your children if anything happens, especially if you are working? Do you know what will happen to your children abazalwe emtshatweni nabazalwe out of umtshato? Do you have a will, woman? Okay, ndiqithile. Size kosisi aba batshate sebebadala. Sowunento zakho, sowune-assets zakho. I'm going to advise you ubothetha nommeli wakho. Ubuze into ba utshata njani umuntu onento zakhe, one-assets, because ilizwe libi kuthi. Zininzi izitori ezibuhlungu esizivayo apho umuntu aza in the name of love akufunqule ekuhlamba inyawo esithini kanti uzokuthatha your hard earned cash. Amba uyokubuza, and if kufuneke usayinile before utshate, baza kucebisa ikhona idocument phaya esayinwayo before utshate kuthiwa yi-nuptiality contract. Maybe andiyibizi kakuhle, but nuptiality contract. Guys, masimise ingqondo. The world is against us. Kwintetho ethethwayo, I'm not against you if you are a man, but I'm being realistic because these things happen. Kwintetho ethethwayo ethi le gender sifuna sifile. Maybe nabo bacimba sibafuna sifile, which means all of us have to be wise in these things. Because now when I talk about gender-based violence, I'm not addressing women only. I know that men are victims, but most of the time it is women who are victims more than men. So we have to be realistic and not be defensive. Asitsalani apa but siya empowerishana. Guys, please, please. Iba buhlungu into yoba uthi unamatyala, iipensions zakho ungekazityi nozitya, kufuneka uzohlulele lo tsotse bekubalele, imali zabantwana bakho. Yonke into imke, because we love with the heart. It's okay to love with the heart, but let us also use the mind. Ask questions. Zijonge izinto. Analyze izinto, you know. Ngoba ilizwe libi, it is against us. Thirdly, I talked about the will. I talked about hamba bofuna emthethweni i-advice before utshate, especially xa unezinto zakho. Andikhatha noba utshatele ecaweni, protecta izinto zakho. Ngoba amasela ngoku aze ecaweni ayayazi into yoba pha we're not encouraged to ask questions, kanti ke siza kuzibuza. Okwesithathu, when you are in an abusive situation, bangabe uyabethwa, bangabe uhleli nje ugqekana nawe. I had a friend eyayisithi le ndoda xa imthuka ithi cimba umhle, cimba uyafanelwa impahla nje butsho ngesangotha. Abuse leyo. Soze ndibe nesangotha endithanda. Never. Wayengambethi ngamanqindi njengoba kwabanye bebethwa ngamanqindi, but wayembetha ngamazwi emtya self-esteem, amxelela ukuthi, you know, you're a piece of nothing to me. You mean nothing to me. Blah, blah, blah. Zonke ezo zinto emxelela zona. Whether physical abuse, whether psychological abuse, whether emotional abuse, talk to someone. These days, a counselor owes it to you. Noba isecaweni, noba yi-social worker, noba yi-psychologist. It owes it to you into yoba abe confidential ngezinto azithetha kuwe, ngezinto ozithetha kuye. So talk to them. In the Bible, wathi akureyitshwa umntana kaDavide, nali igama lakhe lindishiya ngoku and I can't check it. Wathi akureyitsha nguTamara. Wathi akureyitshwa ngumntu ebecinga ngubrother wakhe, who was plotting all along to rape him, ezenza ngathi uyagula kanti ufuna ukumreyipha. After he was raped, ngewayethule ngoba wayethwele ihlazo, instead ukuba athule wanxiba impahla ezirhweqayo, because she had to show the world that I'm grieving, I'm mourning, something wrong is happening to me. Talk to someone, because uza kufa ungathethi. Awuzofa because ekubulele ngamanye amaxesha. Uzawulala ungavuki because when ulala ezinyembezini, because you are suffering from syndrome ethi abantu bazawuthini. When it comes to you, uza first, especially xa unabantwana, because awuphileli lo bhuti qha uphilela nabantwana bakho. Talk to someone. Someone has to know that something is wrong. Someone has to know that if something happens to you, kubani na who is to blame. Libi ilizwe and li against us. I know that some people would come with scenarios where women have killed men for their money and all of that. Yes, ziyenzeka. As I said earlier, it's not us against them, but few incidences. But in most cases, gender-based violence affect thina city victims. And eyona nto ibuhlungu into yoba sithwele abantwana bethu ngomlomo, siba expose kwi-poverty, kodwa besifundile, besiphangela, besinemali, because of the decisions we've taken, because we were in love, siluze konke. I know of a woman mna, she was a virgin utshata kwakhe. She had a profession, kanti lo bhuti umtargetile. Wamenza amthengele itaxi, wamenza athenga izinto, ecommit isalary yakhe qala nje lo sisi ukuphangela. Ugqiba kwakhe, when he knew that the financial power is in him, abuse into yoba makahambe ambetha amdlakaza bezipisi. That's how the world is with us. Be in love, but use the mind. Seek advice. Talk to people, guys. Kubi, the world is against us. The world is against our children. Ka umntu seye kuvisa ubuhlungu ethatha from you, akoyiki nalo Thixo na. Akoyiki namntu. Suba inhliziyo yenziwe yaqina njengekafaro, because he's coming to take from you. Those are the three things that are in mind. Yazi, in my stories, I told you that I've got many stories where men attempted to take from me. First of all, I'm extremely nice. And they have baba ne mistake most of the time of thinking that being nice and kind means I'm naive. Then othuk umntu, when they cross the line, that andenziwa njalo. Othuke nyani umbone uba uthukile, because ubone ndi nice, because I'm extremely nice. But you don't cross the line and you don't abuse me. Ndafunga soze umama wam abe yi-victim ye-abuse kwi-in-laws zakhe ne-society epatriarchal, ndiphinde nam ndibe yi-victim. Never. Soze ndehlele loo nto. Umbone ke ngokuba umntu udanile. These stories are too many, and for me they teach me one thing, that most men are cruel. And makangakuvaleli from asking questions. If you want to ask questions, ask questions. If your instincts tell you that it's wrong, then it is wrong. Ask. And makangakupressurize ngokutshata ungekamazi. Makangakupressurize ngokutshata ungekamazi. Unelishwa ke umuntu otshate emdala, because bonke beza becimba desperate because you've got a career, you've got everything. Ba aze ke ngoku ecimba desperation yakho ngumtshato. That's where the problem starts. They always want to take. They always want to borrow money they will not return from us. They always want to know what is it that they can take from us. Please, guys, let us wake up. We're not trying to say sukuba nothando ibanalo, but protect izinto nazo. Ndandikhe ndeva ke into yoba obunazo before utshata zingena emtshatweni, especially ke kwezi ntombi zikrosa seziqinile, umntu efulfile iphupha lakhe. But buzana ndingomntu womthetho, but ndizibonile izinto, ndizivile izinto, ibe yi-entanglement ekunzima ukuphuma kuyo. And in the end, a woman becomes a victim. Mandiyibambe apho ndime. I thought let me advise you guys. I thought let me challenge us to think. I thought let me provoke our thoughts as women. Andizokuthi wawubethwa ye-police station, uyayazi loo nto. But ndithetha mna ngezinye izinto ezifikela thina ezikwayi-abuse, issues that affect women. Yazi abantwana bomfazi ngamanye amaxesha bagxothwa ekhayeni labo because the husband took another woman after emkile watshata. Baphuma abantwana bakho kwikhaya obulakhe nzima, bahambe bayohlala ematyotyombeni babe poor. Because what I've learned is that once ungabikho uthi cwaka, everybody wants to take. They don't care what happens to your children. That is the cruel world we live in. Protect what you have. Protect what you have. Protect your children. Ukhona umthetho. Ask questions. That's my little advice. Xa kuphela Women's Month. Yo, ungayihleka ulala uba ndingazibalisa ezam ezi izitori zeengcuka ezambethe ufele lwegusha. God bless you.